Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine Vandeham Shri Guru Varam Shri Rupanuga Pravaram Brajarasa Rasikam Cha Narayanam Tam Prapanam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Ramana Prishtaya Bhutale Rupanuga Bhaktidam Cha Kripa Mortim Narayanam Shri Krishna Lila Kirtani Sudaksham Adarya Madhurya Gunaischa Yuktam Varam Varanyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirashanamami Namom Vishnu Padaya Keshava Prishtaya Bhutale Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Vamaneti Namine Namom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Neti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschantya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Acharya Simharupine Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshaviti Namine Atimartya Charichaya Swashitanam Chapaline Jivaduke Sadartaya Sri Nama Premadayine Gaurashraya Vigrahaya Krishna Kamaika Charine Rupanuga Pravaraya Vinodeti Swarupine Prabhupadantarangaya Sarvasadguna Saline Mayavado Tamognaya Vedantartha Vede Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhe Namaha Madhurya Ujvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostite Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapasadanta Dvantaharine Namo Gauriki Shoraya Shakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhi Purambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Svarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Birvava Unistvam Nirdesta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakaupataruviyascha kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Namo Mahavidanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Surator Pangor Mama Manda Matirgati Matsarvasya Parambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyadvrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimad Radnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Preshtalabhi Sevyamanus Marami Shriman Rasarasaram Vibam Sivatatastita Karshan Venuswanir Gopir Gopinata Striestanaha Vrindaye Talosi Devyaya Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Padadevi Sachivityaya Namo Namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktikyam Namama Bhakti Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Page 23. Krishna hoite chatur mukha, hoya Krishna sevan mukha. Brahma hoite narade ramati, Narada hoite vyasa, Madhva hekya sadasa, Purna pragya padmana bhagate, Narari madhava bonse, Akshobhya Paramahamse. Shishya boli ange kare kare, Akshobhya shishya jaya, Tirtha name parichaya, Taradase jnana sindhu tari, Taha hoite daya nidhi, Taradasa virya nidhi. Rajendra hoilo tate, Tara kinkara jaya, Dharma name parichaya, Parampara jana balamate, Jaya Dharma dasya kyati, Shri Purushottama jati, Tate Brahmanya Tirtha Sori, Vyasatirtha Thara Dasa, Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa, Tahate Madhavendra Pori, Madhavendra Pori Vara Shishwa Vara Shishwara, Nityananda Shri Advaita Vivu, Ishvara Puri Kedanya, Kori Lenya Shri Chaitanya, Chara Guru Gaura Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahe Anya, Rupa Nuga Janera Jivana, Vishwambara Priyankara, Shri Swarupa Damodara, Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana, Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatana, Tara Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa, Krishna Dasa Priya Vara, Narottama Seva Para, Tara Pada Vishwanatasa, Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha, Tada Priya Shri Bhakti Vinoda, Mahabhagavata Vaira, Shri Gaura Kishora Vaira, Hari Bhajane Te Jara Moda, Shri Varshabhana Vivara Sada Sevya Seva Para, Tara Daita Dasanama, Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Swarupa Rupa Nuga, Shri Keshava Bhakati Pragyana, Giriya Vedanta Veta Maya Paratamohanta, Gauravani Prachara Chadama, Pachilo Gauravani Bhakati Vedanta Swami, Paraleo Prabhupada Kama, Keshapriya Mahajana Vamana Narayanana, Gauravani Tade Pranadhana, Hey Sabha Harijan Gaurangera Nijajan, Taderu Uchiste Moira Kama, Guru Parampara Guru Parampara, Parampara Guru Parampara. Page 36. Vrindavanavasi jato Vaishnavera gana Partame vandana kori Sabara charana Nilachala vyasi jato Mahaprabhur gana Umite podiya vando Sabara charana Navadvipavasi jato Mahaprabhur bhakta Sabara charana vando Hoya anurakta Mahaprabhur bhakta jato Goda deshe stiti Sabara charana vando Koriya pranati Dedeshe baise Gaurangera gana Urvabahu kori vando Sabara charana Hoya chena hoi bena Prabhu jato dasa Sabara charana vando Dante karigasa Brahmanda tarite shakti dare jane jane Eveda purane guna kai jiva sune Mahaprabhu gana sabha patita pavana Tailo bimoi papi loinu sarana Vandana karite moi kato shakti dori Tamo bhuri dosi dosi moi damba mach kori Tatapi mukhera bhagya manera ulasa Dosakshami madhame karani jadasa Sarva vancha siddhi hoy ama bhanda chute Jagate dolava hoya prema dhandalute Manera vasana pana achirita hoya Devaki nandana dasa elavika jaya Vaishnav Thakur jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Page 200. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikuya vivarjanam rakshishya stiti vishwaso gopchatre vadanam tataha atmanikshepa karpanye sadvidha saranagati. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedoya Kori Svarpasara Sriyadama Sahavatari Atyanta Dolabha Prema Koribare Dana Sikaya Saranagati Vakatera Prana Dainya Atmani Vedanam Gopchit Vevarana Avasya Rakshive Krishna Vishwasa Palana Bhakti Anukula Macha Kayera Svikara Bhakti Kuli Kuya Bhava Vajanangikara Saranga Saranakati Hoi Vejara Tara Pratana Sune Trinanda Kumara Rupa Sanatana Pade Tante Trina Kori Pakati Vinoda Pade Tuyu Paradhori Kariya Kariya Bole Amito Adama Shikaye Saranagati Kero He Utama Jaya Swapasara Jaya Gaurari Swapasara Jaya Gaurari Jaya Rupa Sanatan, Jaya Rupa Sanatan, Rupa Sanatan, Jaya Rupa Sanatan, Jaya. Jaya Bhakti Vinod, Jaya Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod, Jaya Bhakti Vinod. Uh, 96. Page 96. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma Vina Ke Doyalu Jagata Samsare. Actually, I'll go lower, sorry. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma Vina Ke Doyalu Jagata Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Taba Avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaye Vihara Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripavalokana Koro Amibaro Dukhi Toya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Gosaya Tava Kripa Vale Pai Chaitanya Nitaya Ha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Bhatta Juga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanatha Dayakara Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangamaji Narottama Dasa Doyakaru Prabhupada Shri Doita Dasa Vaishnavera Kripa Mare Eyadama Dasa Doyakara Guru Deva Patita Pavana Shikarani Seva Maje Patita Janjana Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaurahari Sachinandan Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Paramakaruna Gaurahari Paramakaruna Jaya Gaurahari Nitai Gaurahari Bol. Okay, we can do 146, I think. Hari Hari Kave Havo Vrindavana Vasi Nirakibo Naya Nijugala Ruparasi. So yeah, it's confusing. Whenever I get to Krishna, I get stumped. Hari. Yeah. Yeah. Twajiya sayana suke nidcha palanka kabe brajadulaya dusara beanga sarasa bhojana dore Dore Pari Hari Kave braje magia kaibo marukari parikrama koriya Veda bhavane vane Vishrama kariya jai Jamuna puline Tapadora karibo Sitavam sivate Kave kunje vaitavo Hama vaishnava nikate Narottama dasa kahe Kari pariyara Kave vamona dasa Hoiva amara Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He, He Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He. Krishna He, Krishna He.
Nobody came, Prabhupada, this big auditorium. Nobody came. We didn't see Narada, and any doctors of India.
Wow.
That's what I was just thinking now, that nobody's here. And I looked at them and I said, everybody's here.
O Sri Hari, when will I become a resident of Braj and behold with my eyes the radiantly beautiful forms of the divine couple? Relinquishing the pleasure of sleeping on a wonderful bed, when will my body become gray-colored from sleeping on the dust of Braj? Giving up the enjoyment of the 6 flavors of palatable food, sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent, when will I eat the madhukar obtained by begging from the residents of Braj? Circumambulating the holy places, I will roam from forest to forest, and then rest on the bank of the Yamuna. I shall find relief from the midday heat under the cooling shade of Vamsivat. When will I sit in the groves of Vrindavan and closely associate with the Vaishnavas? Narottam Das prays, when will such a state be mine?
I was hearing that tune. You know, sometimes if you know a tune, they're singing the song, you can sing with them. But if they sing in a different tune, you can't figure out the words. So I didn't know what you were singing. And then when I turned to the page, so I know this kirtan, but I couldn't recognize it just because of the tune.
Mm-hmm.
So you sang it great for the morning, but I wonder if you could learn that, listen to the Bengalis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really nice. Buddha sang it with us once at one of the spots, and one of the kunds, and the version of the people.
Wow.
It was so what a tearful talk and a tearful kirtan.
Wow. Okay, yeah, I'll note that down. Okay, we can do 117. Unless you want to sing one, Vasanti, for Radha. Because I'm just going to sing it in the morning tune. And Shri Krishna Virahe. See, I know there's a special. I'm working on it, but it's like a... Yeah, I have to be patient so they like come, you know. I have to be like patient. Yeah. Yeah, and just like if I like try and force myself to learn like the melody or something, like it just doesn't click. It's like maybe I just need to put more effort in. Effort. Okay. Okay.
Radha bhajane yati mati nahi bela Krishna bhajana tava akarana gela. Are we doing? Akarana gela Ataparohita Suyanahi Jani Radha Virahita Madhvanahi Mani Rohita Suyanahi Jani Mani Kevala Madhava Pujai Soagyani Radhana Tada Kodo Abhimani Pujai Soagyani 110. Kabahinahi karabi takara sanga chite chasiyari rajarasaranga Saranga Radhika Dasi Yadi Oya Bhimana Shigrai Milai Tava Gokula Kana Brahma Shiva Narada Shruti Narayani Radhika Padaraja Pujaye Mani Umarama Satya Sachi Chandra Rukmini Radhavatara Save Amnayavani Eno Radha Parichaya Takara Dana Vakati Vinoda Tara Magaye Charana Radha Bhajane Yari Patinahi Bela Krishna Bhajana Tava Akarana Gela Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe.
Oh, that's not. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Vrishabhanu Nandini, Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Raman Bihari, Radha Raman Bihari, Radhe. Jaya Radha Binod Bihari, Radha Binod Bihari, Radhe. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Srivas Pandit.
Every one of you aren't here in 1 minute. Then I'm closing up the men's ashram and sending you all to a men's shelter.
Are we looking for one?
Santi, can you take solid today? If it's like soft, very soft, soft sweet potato or soft squash. Ask her. Can you ask? Hmm? Today is Srivas Thakur's. Today? It's tomorrow. Oh. Shouldn't we do a class tomorrow? I feel like we should do it on on the day. That's when it's like, yeah, like then there's nothing to celebrate him tomorrow. Like he's big. He's very big. Is he getting initiation tomorrow? I think we should do it tomorrow. Would be right after class? Class 9 to 10, isn't it? Class is 9. Bhajans 8:30 to 9. 8 to 9. What? Tomorrow? 10:30? Okay, so what about Bhajans 7:30 to 8:30? Okay, what about Bhajans 8 to 9, class 9 to 10, and then everybody leaves at 10:30, has breakfast at 10 and leaves at 10:30.
Isn't there a festival tomorrow too?
What's the festival?
I'm not sure.
I want to go to that.
Should I still send out the message? Not yet, because I'm like saying it's Srivas' day.
Where didn't you say you wanted to go to that?
Okay. But keep all the men's shelter thing.
I guess I could just give dance flyers. A psychic fair? Yeah, I'm just wondering if people would be interested in the dance there. What do you think? Is it far? Well, he's not going to go on the Harinam, so he can just be right at 10:30. Right? Or right at 10. No, right at 10:30 because you'll have breakfast. What? What's his message?
Shampoo with you? Is it shampoo?
There's like boxes and boxes of shampoo outside.
Oh, I can include that.
Why are you guys sitting out there? We're so far. Come aside. We're personalists.
light of that, you might want to appoint someone to start the bhajans, because usually I would do it, but
Bhajans start at 8. Right?
Yeah.
But if he likes, he can come at 9 to the class. Yeah, he can come to the class at 9. It's relevant to his initiation. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So he can come at 9 once a month.
Maybe like from somebody.
Once in a month, so you just start. Okay, then I'll go back to the 15th. Punishment and later. And you see, it says monthly.
Do what?
Punishment and later. So we're just starting on the 15th.
yeah. Yesterday we read about the sun chariot.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, maybe you can give a little something about it.
I'll just read it.
Okay. Also, do you want to go back to doing Kripa Iti Avirata?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were all the men here yesterday?
No.
Were all the men here yesterday?
No.
No.
Me, Radhika, Srimati. Sagita. Sorry. Is your mic is on? Is your microphone is on?
So we'll just quickly read the verses without any commentary. Agyanam timirandasya Jnananjana salakaya Surannilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tvadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah Yang Pravarjantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taruajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Banedos Tang Sarvabhut Hridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vena Apurada Lakshay Chaptascha Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde namaste charanarvindam. Tavoivasmi, na jivami tam vina, iti vigyaya radhe, tam nayamam charanantike. First I offer my, Kripayati yadi radha, padita shesha badha, kima paravasistam, pusti maryadeyorme. Yadi vadati cha kinshit, smera sodita sphere. Mukti shobdya tadagyam. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekha Smera Samurali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanite Swapriya Charana Kinkarika Prananatha Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimakabjara Salola Satpada Radhika Padatale Kritastiti Tambajami Rasikendra Shekha Sambadaya Dashane Trinam Bibo Prartaye Brajamahendra Nandan Astu Mohan Tavati Balava Janma Janmani Marisvari Priya. English. If Sri Radha is merciful to me, then unlimited obstacle to my devotion will be removed. There will be nothing superior for me to obtain, because I will have received the excellence offered by the paths of both Vaidhi and Rag. And if she speaks something while smiling gently, thereby revealing the brilliance of the rows of her beautiful pearl-like teeth, what significance will the oyster of liberation have? O Shyamasundar, O you whose head is adorned with peacock feathers, whose face is graced with a laughing smile, whose Murali flute enchants the mind, and who are most expert in relishing ras with Srimati Radhika. O ocean of mercy, please make me a maidservant at the feet of your beloved. That's what we want from Krishna. We don't want anything else. You are the Lord of the life of the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj, and you are like a bee, always eager to taste the nectar of her lotus-like face. O Rasikendra Shekhar, foremost of those who are Rasik, who are situated at the feet of Srimati Radhika, I worship you. O son of the king of Braj, O all-pervading one, O Mohan, who chants the minds of all, taking a straw in my teeth, I pray that your supremely beloved Sri Radha be my dear worshipful goddess, birth after birth. Yes.
Can I ask you a burning question on myself? So last night, when we were listening
Can you use the mic?
last night,
Shri Shri Radharaman Bihari Jeev Ki Jai.
Last night I heard Srila Gurudev say something in the Harikatha that we were listening to that I had never heard before, which was, he said that unless one is taken Diksha in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they can't attain Braja Prem. In the past I heard him say that only this Unata Ujjvala Ras Manjari Bhav is attainable only in Mahaprabhu's line. But this time he said they cannot attain Braja Prem if they've taken Diksha in any other line, including Vallabh Sampradaya, including this Sampradaya, that Sampradaya. And this shocked me because here we see Vittalacharya, who's a direct disciple of Vallabhacharya, And we see many other pure Vaishnavas like Surdas who are in different lines that have a Braj Rasik Upasan. So is that, so I was wondering if Gurudev was saying this from the perspective of like Ras Vichar, like his own mood, or if this is like an actual tattva, like no one else can attain Braja Prem.
Sometimes you can tell the meaning of a sentence by what's around it. So was he talking about Madhurya Ras or any Ras? Because there are other lines from bona fide sampradayas, not Sri Sampradaya, but exactly. Yeah, right. So if you can go back and first find out the sentences that are around it and then present that, then I can better reply. Okay, so tomorrow is a very important day, and I'm hoping that everyone will be here for the whole Bhajans and of course the class. Tomorrow is the appearance day of Srivas Thakur. He's a very, very prominent personality in our line. He's one of the 5 in 1 absolute truth. And he plays some of the most significant roles in assisting Krishna and Mahaprabhu in their pastimes. So if you can all grab your brothers and bring them here by 8. Thank you. So today, I heard that yesterday you were reading about the sun god. And so I think most everybody wasn't here, I heard. And so we're going to quickly go over that again because like in school, you get so misinformed, like probably about everything. So, but that's what we were born and raised in. And so we have a miscalculation that our planet is the most important and our city is one of the most important. And what did you learn about the sun? That it revolves around the earth. Is that what you learned? The sun revolves around the earth. The moon revolves around the earth. Right?
The sun revolves around the earth?
It's not true. Yeah. That's what we in mundane schools learned.
What, that the earth revolves around the sun? Not that the sun revolves around the earth. That's what they learn in school.
That this earth revolves around the sun?
Yeah.
Right, let's see what really happens.
The sun never revolves around the earth.
No, it doesn't. So let's hear what happens according to Sukadeva Goswami, who is Radhika's parrot. You can quickly look it up in the...
In regular mundane school, they teach that all the planets
revolve around the sun?
revolve around the sun.
Okay, let's...
The sun.
Okay.
The sun is revolving.
And that the sun is stationary.
Yeah.
All right.
All the planets are moving on an axis.
And that the sun is stationary. So let's see what really happens, because that's not true either. Okay, so we're beginning Canto 5. This puts us in perspective of who we are, what we know, what we need to know. And so once Srila Gurudev was chastising the devotees in Russia, because it was Manjari, 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 we're not interested in anything else. We're not interested in reading the other cantos in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Gurudev said, if Vyasadeva thought that all you have to do is read about the Manjaris, and he would have done that in Srimad Bhagavatam, instead of making so many other
cantos that make you qualified to understand Manjari Bhav. When Srila Prabhupada, he used to tell some people, including me at the beginning, when one of my god sisters, Himavati, she was a great seamstress, and she sewed some shirts for Prabhupada, like 1967, and they had these pockets with the V on it. You know what I mean? The flip, which is like a cowboy shirt. And so one of the devotees said, "You look like a cowboy, Prabhupada." And he said, "I am a cowherd boy. I am a cowboy." And another time when I did this painting of him and Kartamashai, you know Kartamashai? He's like a 8 or 9-year-old Krishna, and he has his hand on his waist, and the other hand is holding a cowherd stick. Prabhupada said, "My desire is to be his friend." And he said other things. And then in one, what do you call that? And he said many things to Govinda Dasi too, and Harsharani, my god sisters. So it was an appearance day festival in Mawillambar, and Srila Gurudev said about Srila Prabhupada, he has, because he was talking about all the qualities of Guru. What's that verse after Chaturvidas? Shri Radhikama Davayodapada. He's always singing about the glories, pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So Gurudev said regarding Prabhupada, he cheated you all. Why? Because we weren't ready. Similarly, we're reading about the movements of the sun to get us ready. Okay. So, Canto 5, Chapter 21, Text 3. Sukadeva, who is Sukadeva in Krishna Lila? Radhika's parrot. My dear king, who is he in Krishna Lila? King Parikshit. He's the gopi. I have thus far described the diameter of the universe, which is 4 billion miles diameter across, and its general characteristics, according to the estimations of learned scholars. As a grain of wheat is divided into 2 parts, and one can estimate the size of the upper part by knowing that of the lower. So, expert geographers instruct one can understand the measurements of the upper part of the universe by knowing those of the lower part. The sky between the earthly sphere and the heavenly sphere is called antariksha, or outer space. It adjoins the top of the sphere of the earth and the bottom of that of heaven. In the midst of that region of outer space, called antariksha, is the most opulent sun. Do you think the sun is just a ball? Anybody thinks the sun is a ball? Those who do will find out differently. In the midst of the region of the outer space is the most opulent sun, the king of all the planets that emanate heat, such as the moon. By the influence of its radiation, the sun heats the universe and maintains its proper order. Prabhupada said if the sun were to move 1 inch in that way, the whole universe would burn. And if it was to move a drop that way, the whole universe would freeze. So the sun maintains the proper order of the universe. Welcome. It also gives light to help all living entities see. While passing towards the north, towards the south, or through the equator, in accordance with the order of the Supreme Lord, it is said to move slowly, swiftly, or moderately. According to the movements of the rising above, going beneath, or passing through the equator, and correspondingly coming in touch with the various signs of the zodiac, headed by Makara or Capricorn. Days and nights are short, long, or equal to one another. When the sun passes through Aries, or Tula, Libra, the duration of the day and night are equal. When it passes through the 5 signs headed by Vrishabha, Taurus, the duration of the days and nights, the duration of the days increases until Cancer, and then it gradually decreases by half an hour each month. So it's so scientific, so calculated, until day and night again become equal in Libra. When the sun passes through the 5 signs, beginning with Vrishika, Scorpio, the duration of the days decreases until Capricorn. And then, we have modern scientists, but this is 5,000 years ago. And then gradually it increases month after month until day and night become equal in Aries. I can't even remember it, what to speak of understand it. I just read it a second ago. Until the sun, it would you have to work hard to remember that one sentence. Until the sun travels to the south, the days grow longer. And until it travels to the north, the nights grow longer. Sukadeva Goswami continued, "My dear king, as stated before, the learned say that the sun travels over all sides of Manasarota mountain in a circle whose length is 760,800,000 miles, so exact. On Manasarota mountain, due east of Mount Sumeru, is a place known as Devadani, possessed by King Indra. Similarly, in the south is a place known as Samyamani, possessed by Yamaraj. In the west is a place known as Nimlochani, possessed by Varuna. And in the north is a place named Bibhavari, possessed by the moon god. Sunrise, midday, sunset, midnight occur in all those places according to specific times, thus engaging all living entities in their various occupational duties and also making them cease such duties. The sun has a lot of control. And the sun is a person. The living entities residing on Sumeru mountain are always very warm, as at midday, because for them the sun is always overhead. Although the sun moves counterclockwise, facing the constellations, with Sumeru mountain on the left, it also moves clockwise and appears to have the mountain on its right side because it is influenced by the Dakshinavarta wind. People living in countries at the points diametrically opposite to where the sun is first seen rising will see the sun setting. And if a straight line were to be drawn from the point where the sun is at midday, the people in countries at the opposite side of the line would experience midnight. Similarly, if people residing where the sun is setting were to go to the countries diametrically opposite, they would not see the sun in the same condition. When the sun travels from Devadani, the residence of Indra, to Samyamani, the residence of Yamaraj, it travels at a speed of 190,200,000 miles in 6 hours. That's a lot. The sun goes fast. And then it goes slower at other times, remember. 190,200,000 miles in 6 hours. That means in 1 hour, it's 1/6 of that, which is a lot. The distance, that's the purport. From the residence of Yamaraj, the sun travels to Nimlochini, the residence of Varuna. From there to Bibhavari, the residence of the moon god. And from there again to the residence of Indra. In a similar way, the moon, along with the other stars and planets, becomes visible in the celestial sphere and then sets again and it becomes invisible. Now, how does the sun ride? It rides on a chariot. Thus the chariot of the sun god, which is Triamoi, or worshipped by the words Ambor Bhuvaswa, for the men, travels through the 4 residences mentioned above at a speed of 27,206,400 miles in a muhurta. Muhurta is 1 hour 36. How long is a minute? Muhurta, 1 hour 36 minutes. The chariot of the sun god has only 1 wheel. Are you all picturing that? You're wrong. You can't picture it. You can imagine it. The chariot of the sun god has only 1 wheel, which is known as Samvatsara. The 12 months are calculated to be its 12 spokes. Okay? 1 wheel, 12 spokes, which is the 12 months. The 6 seasons are the sections of its rim. What is a rim of a wheel? The space between?
The rim, the outside of it?
Is it? Okay.
The rim, yeah, like the...
What holds the spokes? The 6 seasons are the sections of its rim. And the 3 chaturmasya, that means 4 months, periods, are its 3-sectioned hub, the middle. One side of the axle carrying the wheel, one side of the axle carrying the axle is the thing that goes from the middle to the connecting machine, the chariot, rests on the summit of Mount Sumeru. One side of the axle carrying the wheel rests upon the summit. So it's like those rides that kids do. The Ferris wheel, not Ferris wheel, carousel, yeah, like that. And so it sounds like it is stuck in one place. I mean, not it, but the axle. And then it goes around like a carousel. And the other axle rests on the Manasarota mountain. Affixed to the outer end of the axle, the wheel continuously rotates on Manasarota mountain like the wheel of an oil pressing machine. So oil pressing machine is in the middle and then the bull goes around it? Or is that just a machine? Does anybody know what an oil pressing machine looks like? Can you look it up? As in an oil pressing machine, the first axle is attached to a second axle, which is 1/4 as long. That is 31,500,000 miles. The upper end of this second axle is attached to Dhruvaloka by the rope of wind. Dhruvaloka is a heavenly planet beyond other heavenly planets, where Dhruva Maharaj lives. My dear king, he has only 7 days left to live, right? And this is what he's hearing. My dear king, the carriage of the sun god's chariot is estimated, the carriage where the sun god rides, is 28,800,000 miles. What? An oil pressing machine? Why? It's so interesting. She said we can make our own olive oil. What does it look like? And 1/4, so we're talking about the carriage of the chariot. It's long, it's almost 29 million miles, and it's wide 7,200,000 miles. The chariot's horses, now it also has horses. It has one wheel and it has horses, which are named after Gayatri and other Vedic meters. So the horses have different names like Gayatri and other Vedic meters. They are harnessed by Arundev. Arundev is his driver. To a yoke. What's a yoke? A bar. Oh, so the horses have a bar that goes to the chariot. The chariot's horses, which are named Gayatri and other Vedic mantras, are harnessed by Arundev to a yoke that is also 900,000 times 8 miles wide. This chariot continuously carries the sun god. Then in the purport, Prabhupada quotes Vishnu Purana. The 7 horses yoked to the sun god's chariot are named Gayatri, Priyati, Usnek, Jagati, Tristup, Anustup, and Pankti. These names of various Vedic meters designate the 7 horses that carry the sun god's chariot. Although Arundev sits, so he's a person, how big is he if the chariot is that big? Although Arundev sits in front of the sun god and is engaged in driving the chariot and controlling the horses, he looks backwards towards the sun. Did you get that? He's driving, but he's looking backwards towards the sun who's on the chariot. He's in the front seat controlling the horses, but he looks back towards the sun god from which side? The left side. There are 60,000 saintly persons called Vali Kilyas, each the size of a thumb, who are located in front of the sun god and who offer him eloquent prayers. They're the size of a thumb and the chariot's millions of miles. Like we think when we read about the gopis and Krishna and their amorous pastimes that, yeah, that's really funny, yeah, that's really sad, as though we could understand it. But even this is inconceivable.
There's 60,000 little beings the size of a thumb that sit on the chariot.
They're located in front of the sun god who offer him eloquent prayers of glorification.
That is almost as weird as the Kauravas being born out of pots. Yeah, they were born out of 100 pots.
Mm. Similarly, 14 other saints, that is Gandharvas, Apsaras, Nagas, Yakshas, Rakshasas too, they're like man-eating demons, and demigods, who are divided into groups of 2, assume different names every month and continuously perform different ritualistic ceremonies to worship the Supreme Lord as the most powerful sun god, Suryadev, who holds many names. My dear king, in his orbit through Bhumandala, the sun god traverses a distance, that's how far he rides, a distance of 760,800,000 miles at the speed of 16,004 miles in a minute. Oh, so that's how you break down. It said he went so many millions of miles in 6 hours. So in a minute, a moment, he travels 16,004 miles. Got to get the 4. In a moment. And nobody gets dizzy on that carousel. Okay, that finishes that chapter. That's Surya Dev. So when we look at the sun, we can remember all these things as best we can. Huh? Try and see the 60,000 little guys, Vasanti said.
Also, we don't know what size of thumb that means. What if it's the size of Surya's thumb?
That's true.
Doesn't necessarily mean a human.
That's true. Hmm? Yes, we don't know that. Well, besides the 60,000, there are 14 other saints.
Kind of seemed like he was saying that the Rakshasas and the Devatas were all together.
Yeah. King Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, "My dear Lord, you have already affirmed the truth that the supremely powerful sun god travels around Dhruvaloka with both Dhruvaloka and Mount Sumeru on its right. Yet, at the same time, the sun god faces the signs of the zodiac and keeps Sumeru and Dhruvaloka on his left. How can we reasonably accept that the sun god proceeds with Sumeru and Dhruvaloka on both his left and right simultaneously?" Sukadeva Goswami clearly answered, "When a potter's wheel is moving," you got it? Potter's wheel is moving, and small ants located on that big wheel are moving with it, one can see that their motion is different from that of the wheel because they appear sometimes on one part of the wheel and sometimes on another. Similarly, the signs and constellations with Sumeru and Dhruvaloka on its right move with the wheel of time, and the ant-like sun and other planets move with them. Does anybody understand that? It was clear to Maharaj Parikshit. The sun and planets, however, are seen in different signs and constellations at different times. This indicates that their motion is different from that of the zodiac and the wheel of time. So time is also a wheel. The original cause of the cosmic manifestation is the Supreme Lord Narayan. When great saintly persons, fully aware of the Vedic knowledge, offer prayers to the Supreme Person, he descended to this material world in the form of the sun to benefit all the planets and purify fruitive activities. He divided himself into 12 parts and created seasonal forms, beginning with the spring. You know, there were 12 suns, remember? Because what pastime was it? when Krishna punished Kaliya, and then he came out of the water and he was really cold. And so the 12 sons, the Dityas, all gave him warmth. That's described in the Brajmandal Parikrama book. There's so much to learn. Regarding reading, Prabhupada said, you must find time. There is so much time. Like the time that we waste in speaking Prajalpa, we could have read a chapter.
So, could you say something?
Loud, can you take that mic? I probably can't, but try.
Can you say something, like you mentioned a few minutes back, you said like he has 7 days to like, hear the essence of like life, but he's like hearing so much stuff. So can you say something on that? Because it is a little kind of odd, it would seem.
That he heard the whole Bhagavatam
Yeah.
in 7 days. It's described in the beginning of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Vasanti, can you look up in the beginning of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita? His last day increased in duration so that he could summarize what he heard from Sukadeva Goswami to his mother. And that is called Brihad Bhagavatamrita. But it wasn't even the same thing. Parikit's mother, Uttara, asked him to explain what he had heard from Sukadeva Goswami. And that became the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And in the beginning of the book, it says that his last day was increased so that he could do that. Can you find that? It's one of the early verses. So, you're asking how in 7 days. The thing is, he didn't sleep. He didn't drink.
Not really how, and not how, more like why. If it's trying to focus on like the real like inner like core of like worship of God, but this is a lot of sort of, it would appear, periphery knowledge.
Yeah, because in order to appreciate the greatness of God, like how would I know the greatness of you, Pabru? He just goes like that to people, and they all give him $1 million each and take 10 books. He, even though Mahotsaha is so famous as the best book distributor, Babru trained him. And Babru doesn't mind. He loves to have people come out with him on book distribution because he wants to help others to do this great service. So, wow, that's really great about Babru. So if we can appreciate the various things that Krishna does just in the material world, it helps me. Just like Krishna kissed Radha. He's God, he's just a lusty guy. But Krishna, who's Radha, who's Krishna? If I already know how transcendental he is, about the greatness of the material universe, about the Sarup Shakti and about what is Satchidananda and all that, then Krishna kissed Radha. Krishna is so great, Radha is so great. Does that make sense? So where are we? The original cause of the cosmic manifestation, Lord Narayan, is Narayan. When great saintly persons, fully aware of the Vedic knowledge, offered prayers to him, he descended to the material world in the form of the sun to benefit all the planets and purify fruitive activities. He divided himself into 12 parts and created seasonal forms, beginning with spring. In this way, he created the seasonal qualities, such as heat, cold, and so on. What an amazing personality. Vasanti, did you find it yet? You will, I know. If it's in the universe, Vasanti can find it. So, according to the system of 4 varnas and 4 ashrams, namely Brahmins or priestly class, Kshatriyas, the warriors, administrators, the Vaishyas or the agriculturalists and merchants, and the Sudras or the working class, and the ashrams, namely the celibate brahmacharis, the regulated householders, the renounced varnaprasthas, and the fully renounced and head of society sannyasis. According to that, people worship the Lord, who is situated as the sun god in the universe. With great faith, they worship the Supreme as the Supersoul according to ritualistic ceremonies handed down in the 3 Vedas, such as Agnihotra and similar higher and lower fruitive acts. And according to the process of mystic yoga, in other words, different people do different things to worship the Lord and see Him in different ways. In this way, they very easily attain the ultimate goal of life. Very easily means after a long time, depending on how they worship. The sun god, who is Narayan or Vishnu, so the sun god is an ordinary demigod. The soul of all the worlds is situated in outer space between the upper and lower portions of the universe. Passing through 12 months on the wheel of time, the sun comes in touch with 12 different signs of the zodiac. What's the zodiac? Does anybody know? I don't think so.
Well, there's 12 constellations, and then inside of each of the 12 constellations, there's 2 other different nakshatras, which are other constellations.
That doesn't tell about a zodiac. Can somebody just look in the dictionary? What is a zodiac? Anybody who has his phone?
I guess they call them cosmic seasons.
Can you look it up in the dictionary? The aggregate of those 12 months is called a samvatsara, or a year. According to lunar calculations, 2 fortnights, one of the waxing moon and the other of the waning moon, form 1 month. Everything, the whole science is there. Who? Yes?
12 signs representing sectors of the sky.
So there's sections of the whole universe. Can you ask for examples of the signs of the zodiac?
Aries, Taurus.
Right, that's what we read a few days ago. That same period is 1 day and night of the planet Pitriloka. So one of our months is equal to 1 day and night of a certain planet called Pitriloka. According to stellar calculations, a month equals 2 1/4 constellations. When the sun travels for 2 months, a season passes, and therefore the seasonal changes are considered parts of the body of the year. So it's just when we start looking at things, we have a different paradigm. It starts changing us. Like when we look at a tree, we think there's a spirit soul who made some big mistakes, and now he has the body of a tree. And that's Krishna's material energy, and it's made of these 8 elements. So we have so many different ways to look at things. Thus, the time the sun takes to rotate through half of outer space is called an ayana, or its period of movement, in the north or the south. I think that's enough for today. Oh, there's one more. The sun has 3 speeds: slow, fast, and moderate. The time he takes to travel entirely around the spheres of heaven, earth, and space at these 3 speeds is referred to by learned scholars by the 5 names: Samvatsara, Parivatsara, Idhavatsara, Anuvatsara, and Vatsara. It's just, we can't conceive of it really. So what to speak of conceiving of Krishna's planet? You found it? Okay, what is it? Can I have it so that my voice can be loud? One might raise the objection that it is highly improper. Oh, by the way, for those online, and you haven't already shut it off because it was too inconceivable, Vasanti found the place in Brihad Bhagavatamrita where Srila Sanatana Goswami is explaining how Sri Pariksit Maharaj could have fit this whole Bhagavatam and Brihad Bhagavatamrita in 7 days. Okay? One might raise the objection that it is highly improper for great personalities to indulge in self-praise. To address this, King Pariksit says, Sri Krishna is the source of causeless mercy. That's good to know, because we really need it. Although a person may be totally unqualified, Krishna showers mercy even on him. Therefore, it has been said that he is the mine, M-I-N-E, or source of unconditional mercy. If the quality of the unconditional mercy is seen in anyone else, it should be understood that it is a drop of the ocean of Krishna's causeless mercy. I am a vile person. This is Pariksit Maharaj. I think. I am a vile person, devoid of all good qualities. Still, if any virtue is seen in me, it is simply a display of Krishna's grandeur. In that sense, extolling my qualities is ultimately tantamount to glorifying Sri Krishna's divine splendor. For this reason, there is no fault in it. I don't see anything about the day, maybe it's coming. Rather, it is a commendable quality if I praise myself, because it's just a drop of Krishna's unconditional mercy and his splendor and grandeur. Okay. Are you chanting or hearing or resting? But then we have to take our hand out of the bead bag, because we can't chant and hear at the same time. If I was a pure devotee, that would be an offense. If I was junior to you, then it's no problem. Or even if I'm senior to you, but I'm not a pure devotee, then it's a no-no. Okay, so here we go. It's a commendable quality if I praise myself. Not only that, bead bags are not supposed to be on the knee because it's a low place of the body. Thank you. Because I accepted the Brahman's curse with respect and in a devotional mood, that he was cursed by the unscrupulous son of a Brahmana to die in 7 days, because by Krishna's will he put a dead snake around a sage, for not giving him water when he needed water. That's because the sage was in trance and he wasn't in external consciousness. So the son understood what happened and he cursed him to die in 7 days. But I accepted that curse with respect. Prabhupada was explaining in the first canto that Parikshit Maharaj thought, oh, the son of the Brahmana has cursed me. That's nice. And Prabhupada said, just see how liberal he was. So he accepted it with respect and in a devotional mood. I have been allotted, okay, so here's where it comes. I have been allotted extra time before giving up my body, and the duration of my last day has been extended. Thus, in my final hour, having abandoned yoga and other duties, I will respond to your query with single-minded, resolute consciousness, and will recount a history that contains the essence of all scriptures. And I'll say the verse. This was the purport of Sri Sanatana Goswami. I bow down to Sri Krishna, who is the source of unconditional mercy. Since I honor the Brahmana's words, my final day will certainly be very much prolonged. Therefore, I will respond to your question with one pointed focus, and you should understand that my reply will incorporate the essence of all Vedic scriptures. So what was the question? Let's go to the previous verse, to Uttara's question, and then we'll end. Wow, this is interesting while she's looking. Above the rays of the sunshine is a distance of 800,000 miles, is the moon. We learn in school, we definitely learn in school, that the moon is our moon. It's not so big, the sun is much bigger, and it's 92,000 miles away. This is not true. So 800,000 miles above the sun is the moon, which also travels at a speed faster than that of the sun. You know, sometimes a motorcycle, they ride faster than cars. You ever see that? In 2 lunar fortnights, the moon travels through the equivalent of a samvatsara of the sun, and 2¼ days it passes through a month of the sun. That's how much faster. 2¼ days it passes what the moon travels in 1 month. And in 1 day it passes through a fortnight of the sun. Yeah.
You're saying that the moon is much further than the sun.
800,000 further, miles further.
So I guess we could probably say we didn't go there.
Yeah. And if you read my ASL, Art of Spiritual Life, when I'm first learning this, because that's when the book first came, the 5th canto first came out, I quote a lot of quotes where Prabhupada proves that we didn't go to the moon. Sri Uttara Devi, if you like, you can bring it, somebody can bring it on Monday and we can read those as well. No, the moon. He's saying our moon. The moon. Sri Uttara had heard that the gopis' uncommon and indescribable devotion for the lotus feet of Gopikanta, the Lord who is their beloved, yields a distinctly special fruit, an abode of enjoyment even superior to Vaikuntha. Although she tried to analyze this, by her intelligence, she could not ascertain why this abode is the best of all. She thus inquired from her son, King Parikshit. And that's why you see, who's traveling? Gop Kumar is traveling to the higher and higher planets, and Vaikuntha and Goloka. That's half of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And the other one is, who is the greatest devotee? Narada Muni travels. There's so much time, you must find time. Don't talk prajalpa. It's degrading. Raghunath Das Goswami says in the 4th verse of Manashiksha, what? O mind, Give up the association of abominable mundane talk, which steals the very intelligence of the person. Don't waste time. There's so much time to read. Or to hear. You can hear the book as well. Gaura Premanandi, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol Gaura. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Premanandi. Sarira Vijajal Judendriya Tahikal Jive Phale Visaya Sagare Dharma Jay Jivayati Loba Moyasa Dormati Take Jatao. Do you know it already? Then run to your paper. Karibari Jiva Joy Swaprashadana Dilo Bhai Sayanam Rita Pao Radha Krishna Gunagao Preme Dakoche. Run to the Ek pada premi bore dakore, dayal nitai chaitanya bore premi bore dakame, dayal nitai dayal gor, dayal nitai dayal gor. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama. Jai Shri Guru Gangandhari Giri Hari Shri Radhavanoda Vihari Jeev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Maharaj Ki Jai, Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Paramesti Gurudev Ki Jai, Parat Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Bhagavat Mahaprasad Seva Ki Jai, Gaura Premanandi.
Speaking of books, our Prabhupada book palette shipment is 4 stops away.
Wow.
Today, I thought it was coming Monday.
I thought it was so interesting this morning. Today.
45 boxes. So it's coming to this. It's coming here, but we'll put some here and the rest in the.
Me and Vasanti today, we were learning a verse about the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the middle of that, because whenever we have a conversation, Vasanti always has her phone there in case anybody wants to say something, and then she just stops talking to me. So that person was, and I said, Vasanti, are you listening? Yeah, I'm listening. Anyway, so today was Gadagraja, and he was asking, are there any secret truths of the Bhagavatam in your room? I want to distribute them. We thought it was so appropriate. Huh? Oh, Babra's going to, wow, amazing. And then they take all the books. Okay. Let's turn off the live stream and let's go and honor some